Faker did nearly 1,000 damage per minute is insane.
Let's go beyond that. The fact that he won the counter matchup, like, pretty much single-handedly, I mean, no summoner spell like anyone still managed against the solo kill. That should not happen if you're Xiaohu, so I just think that, you know, Faker, Xiaohu's thrown the gauntlet at him maybe one too many times, but he's only push God so much before he comes back.
And keep in mind, like, as we talk about the context of that solo kill, like, yes, there was some, you know, junglers coming in at some point, but this is after MLG burned both the Faker summoners, and then Faker still just goes and takes down. Definitely a really good play. And this is my concern is, SKT were the ones that banned the Zero Game one. They let it go up, and then they go for this is the kind of situation where this is why you pick red side, is you get the first round before blue side gets to react to you again. And if you're locking up first pick from Italy, first picking Rise, well, Faker the Zero picks through. And you have to, again, change your strategy as Royal and get some of these high profile games off.
See the ripple effects of the because even though RNG has been playing blue side, their strategy has actually been to bait in the counter effect, so to speak. They starve the top lane, or they early lock a zero and lock the lanes after they already see Fakers. So it's been a very unique take on the way to do pick and ban.
Yeah, so maybe too cute. Like, the fact that you're willing to swap the Rise around in a meta where we've seen him pretty much solo be a mid laner, like, it's one of those times where maybe they force themselves into a deficit because Rise never gets to scale. They have to hit a couple of times, exposed in along the way.
We'll see what that matchup ends up being like in game 3, but as we get over the end of that game, we want to first hear from Chroma about SKT's pressure coming into this one.
일단 한국에서는 뭐 저희가 전승 우승할 거다, 뭐 쉽게 이길 거다 이런 식으로 너무 많이들 이야기 하셔가지고 너무 큰 부담이 됐어요. 한 판 한 판 이기기가 되게 힘들 거라고 생각하고 왔었는데 한국 같은 경우에 이제 너무 그런 게 부담감이 너무 심해서 그게 가장 힘들었었던 것 같습니다.
Coming into this matchup as well, the interview with SKT after they won the spring split in Korea was we want to prove the second best team in the world. We want to prove that Korea is so dominant that there's no question that the team that we beat 3-1 coming into this is right beneath us.
Well, if they have 5 more games like the one they just had, I think they would prove that fact. But what we've seen so far, they have definitely not proven that fact. And it looks like a lot of these other teams are playing a lot more fearless against SKT, which is
play against them fearlessly like you can beat them. I feel like North America, as well as the Chinese region, felt like they went back into themselves and really didn't play gameplay. And this time around at MSI, both of the merchants come out with a couple of
I respect that. I like that. It's the mantra that Seals teams coming in. Respect the ball and make sure you're able to take it. And I am kind of glad that these teams are still sort of playing their style. SKT have found what that control style is yet again. Royal still playing very aggressively, which is very fun to watch, of course.
Yeah, well, I thought the ban phase would change with not having maybe being dropped, but not the case for RNG. Maybe they just change around their first pick and they actually ban Rise, which maybe means they'd want to first pick Azir.
Depends on what else you think might be contested. I do think Azir would be a good first pick. Again, I don't really like Blinks in Italy that much, and now they've got to decide, do they want to ban it away, or do they actually like the champion after all? They give away Sivir, but that's not the worst thing in the world.
The other thing is a pinch on Woosh actually worked last game. He was nearly rendered ineffective on the Kalista, so I respect the fact that they stick with that and still take away Blade.
Yeah, which would mean that the Sivir would come immediately in this rotation, but the question will be what they put it with. This time, because the third top lane ban was dropped, they can actually just go for the Echo, so SKT is actually very comfortable with this trade.
They are. In saying that, I really do think that Sivir suffered against Azir. Azir falls in a team fight what Sivir needs, and that is create a divide between tanks and backline threats. And I really do think that, like, every single game I watch this happen, if the Azir is played well, which we know Xiaohu can do, and limits that damage so much from that.
And now we get to see how much these teams think the early game matters, because at the end of the tournament, look, the top tier list is Italy and the 2 marksman jugglers and the Graves and the Kindred. Last game, SKT said we could play Graves, but you know what? We just rather get ourselves the leads, get the early game pressure. You would actually see Royal and maybe switching the style.
And I really like this comp out of they play it a lot. Normally, you have an 80 carry for consistent damage, and a mid laner. This time around, they actually have initiation out of the 80 carry and consistent damage out of the mid laner. It also means that Woosh gets to set up behind that wall, the sniper would and just take it.
Watch the way it was using certain calls at the beginning of the fights. They also did have Alistair, though, to capitalize on the slows that he was able to put out. That is, of course, banned this game. And what is not banned is the Soraka, which you may see for a third game in a row.
Good, right? The Soraka just continues to put pressure in situations where you don't expect. This time it's not going to be paired with an Azir, which is people into the silence field. But it's just such an annoying ability to deal with because sometimes you don't even realize that you've been silenced. Like you just continue to run forward. It really does mess up a lot of combos.
Soraka Graves still grabs out here, and it is SKT going back to a marksman jungler here, so the Elite's not going to come through. Their comp is going to fit that pretty well. They will hit a very Elite Leona, the last few pickups. It is hard to engage.
And we mentioned the only time you're going to see this is if Alistair is banned and you must have hard engage. I mean, picking up the Elise means that they really do need it, so Leona thing, that's a kill lane.
It is for sure a kill lane, but if they can't get the aggression, it could be really difficult for Leona to change the CC properly on a Soraka, because she can put silence on herself as Rosina's blading towards, and then Leona can't chain the stun and Soraka can just walk away.
I agree. Once again, if you take this bottom lane in an isolation, I agree, but when you put into effect that they go early game jungler, it really isn't that easy to walk out.
I mean, I do have to credit RNG for their innovation in this pick and ban phase. First team to do they switched to the Trundle top after banning out 2 top laners and giving the other one away. First team to play Leona here. Also tried to go for the top lane rise, even though it didn't. I think we're still in for a great series.
Baker, of course, with his second Fizz game, it didn't work out in the first one of the series, lost his game to LeBlanc, even though he played well. Now he has Fizz into Azir. Baker won Azir versus Assassin in game 2. Now it's Karma's turn to play that same sort of matchup, but it's Fizz to LeBlanc, and it's going to be a very interesting one. You guys, I don't think it's going to be crazy. Let us know. Hashtag RNG win, hashtag SKT win. To ELO Esports, let us know. One of this best of 5. And this is now the time to get yourself set up for match point.
And it's funny because SKT comp looks awfully similar to an RNG comp this time around. They need to create chaos on that back line for Jhin to be able to take out the carries, whereas arguably RNG want to kite back until Leona has a perfect engagement.
Yeah, or RNG is just going to be going super hard, super early, but it's going to be difficult when you're dealing with double teleport. Like, how is RNG going to play that Leona lane aggressively when a Fizz and an Echo can teleport in?
Yeah, that's why you can't go aggressive, because if you ever do that, Jhin dies. Like, if Marta ever goes without seeing the Fizz in front of him first up, you sacrifice your AD carry.
And the more we talk about this, if you're assuming flawless play from both teams, the Leona pick won't work in the laning phase. What it could work for is if they swap Leona out Soraka, or if we see SKT burning their teleport unnecessarily to unlock the aggression of Leona, it is a big risk for them to be picking it into double TP as well as into a Soraka.
Pressure on MLXG. We mentioned it last game for Blank. MLXG picks it up. Means that performance because, I mean, we've seen Infinity Edges and crazy stuff come out of Graves Jungle right now. The guy does damage late game that Elise will never hope to replicate.
That's going to be the risk then, is how far will this game go? Because Graves hit that spike. SKT won their game in 24 minutes and never had never got stacked all the way up.
And they want 2v2. They spot out the Soraka, and immediately they go down and match the lane. So he wants to kill you.
Yeah, and it's going to be really fun to watch here because a lot of it will have to do with the solo lanes and whether or not they max teleports to stop it, because there are potentially more people that can arrive bottom lane for SKT.
They gave solo experience over to the Leona.
Yes.
They're hoping for an early level 2 and want to go in.
Now, SKT can see that Leona has 1 CS and know that she will hit the level early. I forget exactly which minion it is, but it will not be all 3 melees in the second wave. It'll be before that.
Look at all the harass they're able to get down right away. Leona's nothing at level 1. trying to heal off with the Targon stack. Doesn't get level 2 off that minion.
She'll have to burn several potions here. It'll be in the middle of this wave. I think minion number 2, which will have both skills.
It's so telegraphed what they want to do. And
Look
look
at
at
they get on the Wolf, exhaust and a whoosh, Ignite is on. Do they have the damage? That answer is no. Bang takes some damage back, and Mata slowed down, counterattacked. And he's now low on health.
Counterattack successful, I'd have to say. There's still the heal on Bang, and Mata cannot sustain back up.
Yeah, summon a spell for summon a spell. Now Blank.
Into the mid lane, early flash from Xiaohu. Blank's got a red buff. This is here, has to be careful. And the trinket ward spots MLXG. Woosh now losing health as well, and he gets hit by the boomerang, and Mata's not gonna land it. Even if he did, I think he might have just died, as he was going in onto a full health Sivir.
Agreed, but they have the exhaust down from Wolf, and Elise is here long before Blank. They might be looking to go in again.
Cocoon not gonna hit Bang, but they will get the root. The stun's gonna land. The root will get dodged away. He missed the shot. Woosh should have been able to hit that. But now Mata out of health. Flashes up for Wolf. He's not gonna chase for it. Mata dangerously low.
Does he go around again? He knows that there is no
Sure.
ward there.
At this point, if he goes around again, he's asking to die.
Yeah.
Because Blank will have been able to get close enough, and they've already used so much to try and attempt those things. I would consider all those small SKT victories. RNG was continually trying to aggress, and SKT absorbed it perfectly, giving them an advantage.
We also know that Elise versus Poppy Echo versus Poppy has typically been an Echo-sided Duke quite far ahead of Reaper in this top lane fight. Of course, Blank's been farming as much. And aside from the mid lane, it is SKT winning their lane matchups and ahead 300.
Yeah, and even if we consider Duke's had a little bit of an off tournament because of his confidence, his laning phase and his ability to bully with the Echo has been best in tournament. I think especially when he's consistently won it by double-digit CS, and he's doing it almost all the time.
And it just makes another point on the map, right? I mean, you have double TP already. Duke shoving into a Poppy, so he can't really join anything. You pick the Leona to win the lane. That's gone awry. Well, Duke then was teleport to get back in.
And look for the stun. Won't quite land on a looper. They both get their shields, neither of which really taking damage. That is now teleport. Or looper over the RNG.
Because Baker's done the same thing.
Enemy rampage.
So if you get anything done in a lanes like this, it's actually not playing at least in my opinion. You're running a double teleport top with a pushing bottom lane, and you burn both teleports to get an advantage in your own lane.
Yeah, it is
Enemy
selfish
killing
play,
spree.
so to speak, but we also have to remember the way that RNG won the first game is because they were able to get advantages in all 3 lanes. So at the very least, SKT's hoping to get advantages in 2, but I absolutely agree. It puts the door open again for Mata to try and make a play since they've been able to recall and reset their health bars.
And it's a refillable potion for Mata, which I really like. His recall was really poor. He had very little money. And just the recall is a way to get your health bar back up. Pays for itself. Farther Royal has, by the way, tied back up the Goldie. That's mostly because of Xiaohu. Look at this, 41 to 21 in minions. And
Back to lane, like, right. That's a minion lane pretty much.
Shut down.
Listen, really that much of an Azir
Enemy
favorite matchup.
double
And
kill.
we know Xiaohu's Azir has been absolutely tremendous, and throughout most of the tournament, Xiaohu's had the highest CS differential at 10, and Faker had the second lowest. That didn't end up being the case in game 2, but here we're kind of seeing a return to that as the Azir is just punishing with his ranged advantage over Faker's Fizz.
And one of the reasons that Azir actually fell out a little bit in the LPL is that mid laners like Wayless, Aggression,
Enemy killing
Wayless and
spree.
Pawn actually started going Abyssal Spectre's Cow on Azir, and you just couldn't kill him. And he does his job so well of protecting an AD carry. I
Your
mean, you
turret
pick
has been
Azir
destroyed.
as much for his utility as you do his great teamfight prowess. So they were able to create windows where he should be weak and was still okay. I mean, I'm not expecting to see it in this game, but I'm just highlighting the fact that LPL teams are used to playing Azir against assassins.
know that if Nesky I'm gonna flash it, he will get on the Bang. And when will the sun come out? Now he goes low instead. He's got a flash away from the root. A bit slow, honestly, and the deadly flourish from Woosh, that could have been chained together.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. They did not need to try and give Wolf a real flash. If they would have recast it, they could have chain the CC.
Burn is gonna get stunned up, though. Still durable enough to actually do the phase dive thanks to steadfast presence.
Depends what you want out of the game. They get now when level 6 hits, they